Hello everybody, this is Rowan from TCB. Originally today I was going to release a video about GE and their exploits and how it's negatively impacting the game, and I was hoping to have a statement from the devs one way or another if exploiting system cap and the other exploits that they do is alright by them. Instead, today we're going to talk about dev favoritism and this entire debacle that's going on right now. So I'm going to go ahead and report as accurately as I can on this. I'm going to start with what I know, what the facts are, and I'm going to let you decide what the proper course of action is. In the early morning on November 22nd, VB716 was under attack by KieranCod and JLSD. They were attacking GE in a pretty normal SOV warfare. GE, in their normal fashion, decided the only way they wanted to win was to exploit the system cap and to attempt to lock out JLSD and KieranCod. Whether they hit that cap is unknown to me. I saw 1900 in local, and assumedly most of that was GE, but I can't verify for sure. Regardless of this, at one point GE warped an Aegis to a gate and proceeded to use the Aegis super device. This caused, in a widely known and a widely reported bug, all non-corp ships to see the Aegis as hostile and their wingmen to immediately engage said Aegis. It was quickly shot down, as GE had over 700 ships on grid. This also extended the known Aegis bug, where once you're affected by an Aegis bubble, anytime it puts up its bubble, regardless of where you are in the solar system, you become warp scrambled to the factor of 99. Apparently, when the Aegis goes down, that effect remains in play, pinning anybody that had been affected by that Aegis in place permanently. So that's the events that led up to the current situation. In response to this, the GE leader called for rating bashing of the game, threatened legal action, and a bunch of stuff. And you can see the Reddit post here, and I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And GE's reaction is fact. There's no arguing that's exactly when it went down. The devs then released a post onto, I believe, Chinese forums, as well as in the Chinese client, apologizing for it. There's a link to that here as well. You can read it over, and I'm also going to put it on screen. Bear in mind, this is the dev translation, though. Now, in this post, if you don't want to read it, they apologize personally to GE's capital pilots. They refund the Aegis that GE literally shot down themselves, not understanding how the Aegis super device worked, and then refunded them the war costs for all of their systems that they had decked in that area for some reason. As well as, the rest of the game gets recruit. And then finally, at the end, they thank GE for bringing this to their attention, which is an outright lie. This bug has been reported multiple times before this. This is the first time that it's resulted in a capital ship getting shot down, to my knowledge. So now that we've gone over the backstory, let's get into why this is such a large issue for everybody. This post was originally only available in the Chinese client, and was only in Chinese, so people who spoke English had no idea that this was even happening. In fact, it took over 10 hours after this post was found out and then talked about for the devs to release an official statement, and that was on the Reddit page, not even in the client. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and talk about my issues with this, some speculation, and why I think everybody else should be incredibly upset about how this was handled. The first thing that is incredibly aggravating about this is the fact that it seems like the devs didn't want the English-speaking player base to even know that they were refunding anything to GE. It wasn't posted on our client or in any other localization, and if we didn't have people that use the Chinese client, it's questionable if we'd even find out about this. And you can see that right now on the screen, where you can see the English client doesn't have anything that resembles the post that's in the Chinese client. So to me, the fact that this wasn't widely posted to everybody lets me know that devs understand that this wasn't an acceptable response. Furthermore, within 24 hours of encountering a bug that has been widely reported, GE gets their stuff back. And yet when GE exploits system caps and otherwise stops other alliances and corporations from playing the game fairly, there is no reimbursement in sight, and the devs just remain quiet on the whole ordeal. In fact, over the same 24-hour time frame, I had already reached out to the devs and asked for their statement on GE using system cap exploits to win wars. I was told that they would not be able to give me a statement within that time frame, which I said, okay, that makes sense. But now in that same time frame, they're able to refund ships, make a public post, and do all of this for GE. but within 24 hours they can't say, no, exploiting is bad and you should not be doing it. I guess because it was GE? Secondly, knowing what we know, this is incredibly unfair for the rest of the game that has been trying to play this game fairly and not wildly abuse game mechanics on a regular basis to forward their own objectives. I think we can all agree that we want a game that is fair and that we can all enjoy, but right now it seems like GE and the devs have no interest in making this happen for us. So you've heard the facts and you've heard my speculation and my feelings on it. I'll leave it to you to draw your own conclusions. If you come to the same conclusion that I have, that this is favoritism and that it is unacceptable, I urge you to reach out to the devs and let them know this. Maybe if enough of us reach out to them, they will understand the error of their ways and see that this is completely unacceptable. I don't know if I hold a lot of hope for that, but it's worth a try because I don't want to see this game die. I don't want to see this kind of unfairness continue. It's really depressing, honestly. I encourage you guys to discuss this amongst yourselves and draw your own conclusions. If you have any questions for me, feel free to reach out to me on the TCB Discord server. There'll be a link below for that. And until next time, fly dangerous.